Hey everybody, it's me, AkashaWolf, and today we are going to be talking about psychic attacks and sleep paralysis. The reason why we're talking about this is we're getting kind of like the differences between the two. And also we have ourselves a skeptic or just a regular person who will probably be asking these questions that you want to know. So, anyways.
Hi, I'm the motorcycle boss. Thanks for the intro.
Sorry.
It's all good. Whatever. I know I'm not important.
No, sorry. But yes, I'm here with the motorcycle boss.
Hello.
Anyways.
Nice to see you again. Your hair looks nice.
So anyways, we're going to be talking about, the differences between the two and what you might kind of expect from something like that to happen, or how it exactly happens. Like, why does it happen? Alrighty, sleep paralysis. Do you want to tell them about sleep paralysis?
As far as my experience on it?
No. Like, scientifically. Like, what is, like, sleep paralysis?
Alright, scientifically, sleep paralysis, it's where when you go to sleep, your motor functions pretty much stop. There's a switch in your brain that turns everything off so that when you're trying to act out your dream, like you want to run or you're trying to jump or something like that, it makes it so that your body will not move, so that you don't injure yourself while you're trying to sleep. And when you wake up, that switch turns back on, and then you're able to move around as much as you want. Scientists say, or I don't know, doctors or whoever studies this, I don't know, they say that sometimes that switch is not perfectly in time. It doesn't turn off or on when it's supposed to, and the end result is you may wake up and instead of that switch turning on like it's supposed to and you're able to move, the switch is still turned off and your brain still has to catch up. During that time, you can open up your eyes and look around, and in some cases, because you were in a deep sleep, you may see everything very dark, hazy, and you may not be able to make out figures properly, and you're stuck. You can still breathe, but you're stuck in bed. You can't move until that motor function finally allows you to, and then you can slowly get your movement back to where you're a functioning person again and not a mindless laying in the bed zombie.
So you can breathe?
You can breathe. You can breathe.
How come when people talk about sleep paralysis, they can't?
Some people can't. In most cases with sleep paralysis, you can breathe because that's an involuntary function of the human body. If they cannot breathe, that's most likely going to be dependent on the person themselves. Some people can, some people can't. Maybe some people decide or can't breathe simply because of fear of the experience that they're having. Like me, when I was in it, because I had it happen to me one time, I could breathe, but I was so scared that because I couldn't move my whole body, I was gonna stop breathing. I think that's really what pushed me to wake up and be able to move my body again. But some people may panic so much that they stop breathing, and that's most likely what that is.
So on the magical, spiritual, psychic standpoint of this, sleep paralysis is also called hagging, or the old hag, and also
It's funny.
and also psychic attacks. And the whole experience is basically the same thing, but the real difference is that you see more than just the little haziness and stuff like that. You're not able to breathe, you're not able to move, you see things going on around you. And that's kind of like what he was talking about, but for an actual psychic attack, you see something really happening. You might see something sitting on top of you, and you might see different things moving around in the room or whatever. And the big difference for myself is that there was something happening after the whole thing. I've had many experiences with this happening to me. And what happens is that on one occasion in particular, I had the whole experience happen to me. I had heard something and I woke up and I was stuck. I can move my eyes, but I could not move my body. And I could not breathe either. So it was like really scary, of course, but this was probably like my 5th or 6th time this has happened to me. And when this happened, I was able to kind of like fight it because I felt like something was holding my hands down because I was like this and I couldn't move and everything. And I had seen something on top of me, and then eventually I was able to get my arm to move, and that's when my body was starting to like move. My mom was on the couch next to me, and she had actually woken up and, you know, basically pulled me up to get me out of this, and was like, you know, what the heck happened? What just happened? And I'm like, something just attacked me, Ma. Like something was like strangling me and everything, and I felt like I was being strangled, and that my arms were being held down at the same time. Like it had freaking 2 sets of arms. And when she was talking to me, like what happened, during the time, apparently our power went out. We had no idea. Something had told me beforehand to go to my room because my room is protected. But after it had happened, we had like this grill that sat inside the apartment that was right next to the sliding door, because, you know, of course, you just take it out, grill. And it started shaking. Like the grill started shaking. And then things started moving and kind of being tossed around and stuff. And that's what the difference is between the whole scientific way and the whole actual thing that's happening. You know, because we were awake. She was a witness. I was awake. We ended up moving into my room. And my room was like lit up for some reason. There was no light in there, but the sun shined in there where there was actually a lot of light. And I knew that, like, that's where I needed to be. So, anyways, while we were sitting in there, I could hear it calling my name. Like, whatever had attacked me was calling my name. And you can hear it moving things around and stuff in the apartment. So, yeah, that's the difference between, like, the two, you know, because something actually was happening after. You know, like, you can know that it was actually legit instead of, like, a medical thing or something that just happens. Tell them about your experience.
My experience wasn't so dramatic, you know, or so scary or anything. It was definitely scary, but it was, like, as simple as the definition really is. I was waiting on a package to come in the mail. So I laid down in my bed and was really tired for some reason. And I knew the mailman was going to show up in about an hour or two. I just wanted to take a nap, but it was an important package. So I guess when I went to sleep, I was kind of teetering between sleeping and waking up to make sure I'm still awake so I can go to the door when the mailman shows up. So when I think I finally started falling asleep just a little bit, but I was waiting to hear a doorbell or something. And when I heard the doorbell, my eyes opened right up. And my body was locked down. I could not move. I could breathe, and I couldn't stop my breathing, but I could breathe. And I just could not move. And I tried as hard as I could, and I could slowly bring my arm up off the bed to try and push me off the bed, but it almost felt like I was wearing 600-pound weights on all of my appendages. It was really weird, and I was really scared. I thought I was going to stop breathing. But I eventually got up and out. It took me about probably 2 minutes or so to finally get up. But the other thing is that in the studies, or however they're trying to, the people that studied all this or whatever, they say that when people are put under extreme stress in situations like that, that could be why, especially because someone's sleeping and waking up a little bit, you know, might be in, like, dreaming with their eyes open while under sleep paralysis, could probably constitute for why people will see aliens, or they may feel like someone's sitting on their chest or holding them down, or someone's looking at them and stuff like that. As far as her case, I can't explain that because I wasn't there. I really wish I was, but especially if she's got a witness, then, you know, she's not the type of person to lie. What happened, and I can't argue that. And that's it.
Another thing too that kind of really stuck out to me is that the only times I was really having this experience was in that apartment. I have had it happen to me different times on random occasions, different places. But in this particular place is when it happened to me, like, the most. And, like, the most dramatic. And it was always, almost always, in one half of, like, the apartment for the most part. Like, it was always in the living room, or if maybe I was sleeping in my mother's room. So, yeah, that's why I'm like, science. Well, not really, but you know what I mean.
That's messed up.
I was joking. So why does it happen? So, one of the main things is the hag. When it comes to the hag, it was all a kind of like folktale or legend or whatever of what happens, you know, like old hag is sitting on your chest and she's looking down at you and is keeping you from breathing and everything, and for the most part is sucking the life force out of you. The reason why these are called psychic attacks is because it's something that is pulling your energy and also draining you and basically hurting your life force. That's why these are, you know, called psychic attacks for the most part. So the old hag is one of the most favorite ones that you're going to be, not favorite, most famous ones you're going to be hearing about. It's also called hagging. But one of the other things is spirits and entities and stuff like that. When you may live in a home or a place that may have a lot of energies like spirits and whatnot, some of them are not the nicest. So what they do to be able to exist and do crap that they want to do, they will try to suck your energy. And what they do is they scare you for the most part by, like, you know, taking away your breath, making you not being able to move. When you have no control, that can scare some of us the most. And it makes it so much easier for them to receive your energy. Psychic vampires, or vampires. When it comes to psychic vampires, these can be individuals or even a certain, you know, entity that works at an individual to receive energy or life force. And with the psychic vampires, for example, like, it could be an individual who just does not stop nagging at you, which they end up causing you psychic attacks. So they're draining energy from you through the day, making you weak and stuff. And maybe when you're going to sleep or coming out of sleep, you experience the whole weight thing happening to you. It just feels like you're totally drained. Or you might even experience something manifesting and holding you down. So that's another way it happens, reason it happens. Another one is the succubus and the incubus. This is a...
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, this is a demonic force for the most part. And what they do is they kind of pull at you and stuff in a sexual way. But what ends up happening is they end up kind of doing this thing to where they are on top of you. Like, for some, performing a sexual act, but also taking away your breath and also taking your energy and life force at the same time. And this is sometimes when it gets you to a certain point, you kind of feel like, I guess you can say like high or something, because the lack of energy you have, and this can sometimes come off as a good feeling and other times an extremely bad feeling. And that's what happens when you're dealing with a succubus or an incubus. Succubus is like a female version of it, and incubus is a male version of it. One of the other things is alien abduction. So for some people, or a lot of people who have reported being abducted, have experienced sleep paralysis. It seems to be something extremely common for them. And if you experience sleep paralysis, it doesn't automatically say, I was abducted by aliens. It's just, it can come from various different things. It can be just lack of energy or even you. And what I mean by you is, for some people who have the ability of like psychokinesis, you are able to create an entity with your emotions. So I guess you can say this kind of plays into the whole thing with the stress for sleep paralysis itself. For those with like psychokinesis, your emotions can actually create an entity, and that entity can actually do things. And I ended up finding out from somebody that I have actually done this to myself once that I know of. And basically I kind of like created an entity in the form of an individual that was causing me like a lot of stress, and they had actually did the whole thing where they were causing me like to lose my breath and not being able to move and everything. So yeah, there's just so many ways this can happen, and it's not always just sleep paralysis. It usually can deal with some of the other things that I just told you about. So some ways to avoid this would be to ground yourself before you go to sleep. If you don't know how to ground, check out, I think I have a video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. So check out this video. I'll have the link up right here. Just click it and it will take you right to the video. Or set up protection around your bed, and you can even set angels at every corner of your bed. If you don't know how to do any of that, just let me know if you guys want to see a video on that. Is there anything else you want to say about sleep paralysis or psychic attack?
To help prevent it, lock your doors. 'Cause it may not be sleep paralysis. You might have someone in your house. So make sure you lock your doors. Have a gun or something, you know, a bat. Just be ready.
But yeah, you guys, if you guys want to hear more of my experiences that I've had with sleep paralysis, or even like ghost stories that I can share with you, just let me know down in the comments. He actually used to be a paranormal investigator, so he will have some stories as well. If you'd like to hear those stories, leave that in the comments below and let me know. Let me know what else you guys would like to know, and if there's anything else you'd like to know about sleep paralysis, or if you want another video on it. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and everything else. He's got Facebook and Instagram, Motorcycle Boss. Go check out his channel.
On YouTube.
Yeah. Channel.
Yeah, there's a Facebook channel. There's an Instagram channel.
No. A channel is YouTube.
Okay.
So, go check out his channel on YouTube, Motorcycle Boss.
Yeah, that's it.
His Instagram and Facebook page. We work together on those videos, and you can also get a hold of me on just about any social media network out there, and SpellsOfMagic.com, and I'll answer your guys' questions. Get involved with my tarot lessons on my Facebook page. So yeah, you guys, I hope this video was helpful. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye and blessed be.